Welcome to Just Relationships, the show that offers you concrete ways to make your relationships better. Whether it's your boss, your spouse, your children, or your friends, the quality of your relationships in life directly affects how you feel about yourself and the success you achieve. Your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer, a psychotherapist, telecoach, author, and seminar leader, will interview top experts to help you learn to manage this essential part of your life. And now, here's your host, Dr. Duffy Spencer.
Greetings to you. Would you like some love lessons? Would you like to learn how to be vulnerable, how to forgive, how to love yourself and others, and how to have the most difficult and daring adventure of all, how to let love in to your life, to your heart? I'm very happy to introduce to you Scott Grace, who is a singer, songwriter, and author of the book, Teach Me How to Love, a true story that touches hearts and helps with the laundry. We have to hear what that means, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, teach me how to love. And first, I want everyone to know that I met Scott at Rowe Camp and Conference Center in Rowe, Massachusetts, a few months ago, and my husband and Spence and I, that's his nickname, William Spencer, went to a retreat, weekend retreat on loving relationships, led by Joyce and, oh my goodness, Barry. Joyce and Barry Vissel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was absolutely wonderful. And they had, Scott was the third person on the team who was the singer in residence, who would start each section of the program with beautiful little love songs, and then would write songs on the spot for people. And Scott, you wrote a song for Spence and me, and the idea of singing is, and listening to those words, is in the right part of the brain. So we have the memory, the healing memory, in the right part of the brain. So all you have to do is hear a song, and it brings back everything that you've learned. It's really incredible how music really impacts the right side of the brain. Would you say so, Scott?
Oh, absolutely. It's a doorway into the heart and the soul, and it helps integrate intellectual new ideas. It helps us go from grappling with some new concept to really feeling it in our hearts and our bodies.
Yes, absolutely. So in your book, Teach Me How to Love, a true story that touches hearts and helps with the laundry, tell us about your book and why you wrote it.
Well, the fun way to tell you about the book is, first of all, I was selling laundry bags on the streets of New York City for 7 years as an unlicensed street peddler.
Mm.
And during that time, I was taking voice lessons. I was doing everything I could to get my music out there. I was making cassettes. I was trying to build a career as a solo artist. And with each laundry bag I sold, I tried to make the best of it, but I wasn't having a lot of fun. One day I was selling laundry bags, and I walked into a McDonald's to use the bathroom, and there was a little bit of a line. And just as it was my turn, a woman in a wheelchair comes wheeled in by her nanny, and the nanny says, "Could you let us in front of you?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And when this woman was done, she asked her nanny to wheel her all the way up to me. And she got out of the wheelchair, and she gave me a kiss on the lips and a hug. And she looked me in the eyes, and she said, "Thank you. I love you."
Mm.
And I was so blown away.
Mm.
And I remember just going home that evening saying to myself, I don't want to be that old before I learn how to be that loving.
Yes.
She was in her 90s, and I thought, I'm in my 20s. How can I turn on those love juices and learn how to give and receive love in a culture where everybody's so busy doing other things that we forget that that's really what makes us happy.
Wow.
So I went home that song, and I wrote a song, Teach Me How to Love, which became the title of the book that took me 15 years to write. I took my time. I had to learn my love lessons and then write a chapter from the learning.
Right.
You can't rush the learning.
Right. You cannot rush the learning. My goodness. So that was...
Hear the song. I have my guitar here.
Yes. So would you like to let's hear a song.
I was an atheist at the time. I was a spiritual seeker, but the word God wasn't in my vocabulary, and this song was my first prayer when I look back on it. It was a real prayer. I want to wake up in the morning and know what I'm made of. Oh, great Spirit, teach me how to love. I want to hear the birds at dawn and know what they sing of. Oh, great Spirit, teach me how to love. I've walked this earth in self-defense, bracing for some punishment. Could it be I'm safer here? I've had the joy of my fears. I'd rather ask a dolphin or a dove. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to love.
Wow.
Now, it goes on and on. There's another verse. But I felt in the interest of having more time to chat and more songs. So we'll give you the short version.
So I like that, Scott. Great Spirit. Great Spirit. Teach me how to love.
Yes. I find that when I acknowledge how little I know about love, when I'm willing to be a beginner and to ask the universe for help.
Yes.
It already opens my heart. I already feel closer to love, to not assume, to not make assumptions.
Right. And I know that you have a daughter.
I do.
And she has given you a lot of love lessons, yes?
Indeed.
Yeah, indeed. So, are you still working with Joyce and Barry Vissel?
Pretty much. Once a year, we do something in Austin. It's a week-long camp with kids and teenagers and couples and singles.
And where is this?
Brighton Bush, Oregon.
Brighton? You said Brighton?
Brighton Bush is a retreat center. It's very popular here on the West Coast.
Oh, I see. Bright Bush Retreat Center. In
Brighton Bush.
Brighton Bush. Okay. And in California?
In Oregon.
Oregon, yes. Very, very nice. So, what have you learned when you, I know you've done a lot of couples work with Joyce and Barry Vissel and witnessed so much sharing and singing your songs through all the breaks and all the introductions and all the endings. And what has that been like for you? What have you learned about love in that venue?
I have learned that every long-term committed relationship has their share of challenges and blessings. And the simple tools that Joyce and Barry teach focus on appreciation, the inner child work. It's just profound how when you adopt these new habits and cultivate these new ideas, how it can turn relationships around. Right.
Absolutely. So what is one of your favorite ways of introducing the concept of challenges and appreciations and inner child work? I know in your book you have a number of songs that you've written, and you talk about My Ideal Living Space. So, and I know that you are incredible at making up songs. I'm not going to ask you to make up anything on the spot. But
why?
Unless you want to.
I would love to.
So, okay.
You give me a topic that you think is of interest to your listeners. And it could be personal, could be something from your life, or it could be just something you make up.
Wow, amazing. Well, I just want you to know that I created this show, Just Relationships, over 20 years ago, and for WHPC. And because I believe that relationships are everything. They are the way we live our lives. We live our lives through relationships, and everything is relational. So what is the quality of our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to others? And that literally makes up the quality of our lives, the quality of our relationships.
Well, let's see what comes through on that one.
Okay.
Dr. Duffy is committed through the radio to offer lessons in relationships. It's part of the flow, 'cause everything's relational. You just cannot escape the learning curve down here. We just have to relate. Do you hide or manipulate or come out with the truth? Do you slither and slide away or get closer to the people you love? They push your buttons, I guarantee. Everyone wants it, but we're afraid of intimacy. So let it in, and the wounds come up, and then we can heal. Let it in, and let it be revealed. Let love in, and let love be revealed.
Wow. Applause, applause, applause. Oh my goodness, Scott Grace. That is so beautiful. You are a musical genius, Scott. That is extraordinary. So, I just want everyone to know that this is Dr. Duffy Spencer. We are WHPC 90.3 FM, and I am interviewing Scott Grace, who is the author of Teach Me How to Love, a true story that touches hearts and helps with the laundry. So tell us what else you'd like to say about your your book, what's in your book, which is kind of your life story, or anything